Some insurance companies are going to do whatever they can to try to minimize your claim. Hi, I'm Bob Byrne. I'm an attorney who handles catastrophic injury cases on behalf of injured parties. I've represented hundreds of injured clients, and I want to talk about the 5 ways that I've seen insurance companies try to lowball or minimize clients' cases. This is legal information. It's not legal advice. Every case is different. You need to speak with an attorney for help for your legal case. First is by not covering diagnostic testing. If you've been involved in a bad crash and you go to the emergency department of a hospital, they're going to want to examine whether you have any injuries that are life-threatening. So they want to check for internal bleeding, major fractures, or even some minor fractures, and that your spinal cord is not endangered in some way. Any brain bleeds. And the only way they can do that is by conducting CT scans or MRIs or other diagnostic testing to look inside of your body. Now, fortunately, a lot of times these tests come back negative. And that's great news from a medical perspective. The problem is those tests are really expensive. You may find that the tests cost tens of thousands of dollars. The insurance company may say, this testing was not medically necessary. It was not reasonable to conduct it. It was too expensive. It should not have been done, and therefore we are not covering it. We, of course, will always challenge that in our cases in a number of different ways. The second way that insurance companies will try to lowball an injury case is by looking at either delayed treatment or gaps in treatment. So a lot of times after a crash, people don't go to the emergency department immediately afterwards. There could be numerous reasons why they don't get medical treatment at that time. You can expect that most insurance companies are going to point to that delay or those gaps in treatment. They're going to say, you must not have been hurt. The insurance company is going to try to lowball you on that. That's something we deal with. That's something we can help with. A third way that insurance companies will try to undermine your case is for the insurance company to blame pre-existing injuries. Insurance companies are in the business of blame shifting. They want to point the finger at someone or something else to say, we're not responsible, because insurance companies, their job is to protect someone who messes up. And rather than say, we take responsibility for that person messing up, they want to say, no, you're not injured. Or if you're injured, it's not from this situation. It's from your ski accident 20 years ago. Or it's from the other car accident you were in 15 years ago. Or you have a spine that is naturally degenerating. And that's what this is from. It's not from anything else. Pre-existing injuries and pre-existing circumstances and everything else are something that we can use to strengthen a case. A fourth way that insurance companies will try to lowball your injury claim is based on statements that you give to the insurance adjuster. So in car crashes, you may have an insurance company calling you within hours. They're going to want to take a statement to try to figure out 2 things from you. The first is whether you may have done something that in some way contributed to the crash. So do you bear any fault at all for what happened? They could also try to put words in your mouth about your medical condition. You always want to think of TV shows where they give what's called Miranda rights, and the police, when they're arresting someone, they say, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Use that same approach when talking to insurance adjusters. It's a lot easier to hire an attorney and let the attorney deal with all of that so you can focus on your health and focus on getting better. A fifth way that insurance companies will try to rip you off in your personal injury case is by delaying the resolution of your claim. Most insurance companies will always use delay as a tactic in their case. The longer that they can stretch payment out, the better it is for them, unless they can pay a minuscule amount, which they're willing to pay as soon as possible. But if they have to pay a large amount, they want to stretch it out as long as possible. So insurance companies will tell you, hey, listen, we're looking into this. we're going to pay you the full amount of your claim. We just need to investigate. And there's some insurance companies that will do it and they're going to offer you a fair amount. A lot of insurance companies will say, we just need to get this little bit of information. And then they get that and say, we need one more thing. And suddenly you find that couple of weeks you're expecting for the resolution of the claim has turned into months, has turned into a year. And now you're in a situation where you're coming up on a statute of limitation. And you're in a position where the process itself has become a drain on you from a time perspective, from an energy perspective, and maybe even a money perspective. And the insurance company knows that. The longer things go, the more desperate you become. The more desperate you become, the more likely you are to take less. And if that's the position they get you in, then they just won. There are ways to deal with each of these 5 problems. One of the best ways is to hire an experienced litigator and trial attorney, someone who's going to be aggressive about pursuing your case, pushing it. So I hope that this information is helpful to you. I hope that you are someone who just loves to learn about the law and you're not watching this because you've actually been hurt. If you unfortunately have been hurt and you don't know what to do, I'm sorry about that. Feel free to reach out. I can see if I can direct you the right way. But I do thank you for watching no matter your situation. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and liking this video. And please stay tuned for more videos. Thanks so much.